Welcome back, everybody, to the Ladder.Climber. It's a new day, new time to climb that ladder. And let's check where we're at here. We are bronze for constructed and bronze for limited. Let's try to change that and get up to at least silver for constructed here. So, without further ado, I re-rolled our mission. We're not going to achieve this playing standard here, but we can find other ways to do that later. So we are on the play playing our auras deck, mono white auras. This hand does not seem like a keep. I think we really need that second land. We're only playing 20 land in this deck, so I think we're going to mulligan here. Okay, I think I like this better, although we don't have a 1-drop. Yeah, we're going to get rid of that. I'm going to get rid of the Feather of Flight. I can draw something better later, and keep moving. Okay, we are playing most likely mono red here, so expecting fast creatures and damage-based removal. The Sheltered by Ghosts here is going to be very good for me once next turn comes around. Take out whatever they have, give this Ward 4, so unlikely that they will be able to do anything. And they gave us a great target, Scalding Viper. This would get annoying with my deck. Now I get to gain 3 life every turn after taking 1, so seems like a pretty fair trade to me, and one that I'm happy to make. We do have to watch out for the Storm Queen ability. If they have blue and another Scalding Viper, they can send our Sheltered by Ghosts back. But at that point, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. So we'll just attack, gain our 3 life, and keep moving. I think our friend Bello here might concede pretty quickly on this one. So, especially with Sheltered by Ghosts, I think this is our best matchup. If we can get a Sheltered by Ghosts down and be dealing consistent damage, there's really no way for them to beat us here. So we have double ward. They can't get through that with their Cinder Strike here. So that did nothing. So they basically ended up wasting their turn for nothing there. That seems like we're moving up the ladder. Get our climbing shoes on. That's another pip up. I'm gonna be going for faster kill with Origin versus Ethereal Armor. So the Origin of Spider-Man will, go double strike, lifelink, plus Ethereal Armor. Will most likely be game there. Oh, the red herring. Okay. That is a fun one. Not super helpful to them, but it is a fun card. Yep, they're gonna clear the way for it. Fine. I'm just gonna play the ethereal armor now. I think the one way they can actually beat my spider is by having a double sweeper at this point, so something that deals 3 to every creature or something untargeted, which I don't think they'll have anything big enough to handle 6. Gain a bunch of life, pass the turn. That should be it. Yep, and there it is. Here we go. They'll finally decide to call it quits. That's a bad matchup for them, especially when we get a Sheltered by Ghost down early. I don't blame them. Alright, 1 win away from Bronze 4. So this hand, no action, 4 lands. We really only need 3 at most. For this, I think this is going to be a keep. Well, this will be a keep. I think we can just go 2 lands here. We're starting off with Scavenger. I want to play the Origin of Spider-Man, really. And they're playing a Scoured Baron, so I feel relatively confident that there's nothing to worry about there. Swinging for 2, and keep moving. I'm gonna spread out the damage. I think it's important to not overcommit to anything here. Today I'm just trying to get enchantments down and buff my creatures. So next turn I can get this to being a 4/4/2 double striker. If I play another 1 enchantment, it can be a 5 or a double striker. If I play 2, it can be a 6. And they gave up. Thanks, Wheezy. Nice, easy climb here. So part of the reason that I think playing an aggro deck here is the right way, especially for ladder climbing specifically, is just the amount of games, and you're winning or losing the game relatively quickly. So it's not like playing a control deck where a game can take 20 minutes. No, these games are going to take 3 to 4 minutes whenever I play, and those 3 to 4 minutes are pretty fast, so I can just keep rattling through as many games as I can in that time. This hand against Woju, we're just gonna risk it. I turn 1 Scavenger, turn 2 double ethereal armor. Depending on removal, this could be a bad keep, but we are about to find out. If they don't have the removal though, it is a pretty quick victory. Which it looks like they have removal, so I'm going to pivot and play this Origin of Spider-Man. I noticed a pause in their decision and they hovered over the Scavenger. That spooked me just enough to get me to not play. not just go all in on one creature, especially with cards like the 1 mana. There's a 1 mana removal spell out there. Feed the Swarm, that's fine. I will take that, no problem. Let's maximize here. I think getting damage right now is pretty important. So there's 10. They need to kill both. So 2 kill spells, 3 mana. Didn't look like they had a 1 mana removal spell, although they bluffed it effectively. I played around it, which in this case is going to end up working out just fine for me. And that's just game. We're not going to stunt on them. We'll be respectful to our opponents and just attack in there. The push to platinum should be pretty quick. Once we get to platinum, we are going to see some swings here. I'm not the best player in the world. I would never claim that, but I am good enough to get out of these early tiers. Okay, I think this is on the draw. I would keep. On the play, I really want that second land. Okay, never punished. I'm going to stay with the 2 lands and start off like this. I think ideally I would like to play the Skyward Spider next turn so that I can really work on modifying it. Getting that automatic flying is very nice, and then with that land draw, which was the perfect draw, I can throw another Scavenger down, Origin of Spider-Man, get 2 counters, and really take off. So it looks like we're playing landfall of some sort, either mono green or Selesnya. That doesn't really matter too much. I think they have a couple of removal spells, but with only 2 lands out there, I'm not too worried about removal at this moment, so we're just gonna go all in on our spider. It has flying, so it can get over the Chocobo, and it's bigger than the Chocobo. With this, again, in this matchup, I think the most important thing to watch out for is going to be the Harmonizer, which it looks like might come down next turn, so we do have to be somewhat careful, have a blocker back. A great draw here would be the what we were really looking for there was the Sheltered by Ghosts would have been really nice. Get rid of the Chocobo, or at least reset it. Plus get some life, gain some life back. This turn, I think we should be alright. It's hard to play. They need 3 land drops for trample on their Chocobo. So we should be able to... Yeah, that's fine. Mossborn Hydra is good for us there. They're only playing 1 lane this turn, so I can just block. Or no block. I don't think I even need to block here. Yenny Del Carmen, I think that's gonna be it for ya. Yep. And there it was. Got a nice little winning streak, 3 in a row here. 4 in a row. 4 in a row now. Wow. Okay. And now we're against Rizos. Rizos? However they want to say it. this is going to be a mulligan, especially on the play. We don't have a second land, don't have a creature that we can play in our hand, so this is a lot better. Turn 1 Scavenger. Hard to argue with that. We have our second one. Depending on what color they are, will depend on my next move. Against white, I think we can just start loading up the first Scavenger. So Scavenger into Ethereal Armor. The next turn play Origin of Spider-Man. Or they just Steamer it. That's fine too. I think we're going to be playing a similar deck here. So with that, 1 Seamer gone. Is it time to start? They can't play Sheltered by Ghosts this turn. They need another Seamer to do anything. So, a little risky play here, but we're going to Ethereal Armor our Scavenger right away. Get that 3/3 rolling. It'll be a 5/5 next turn. And if we draw another 1 mana enchantment, it could be bigger. So, hot start. If they do have another Seam Rip, we still have the Origin of Spider-Man, but it just got significantly worse. Okay, Veteran Survivor is fine. They most likely are holding up the Shard Mages. Shard Mages Rescue, I think that's really the best. And really only instant speed, 1 mana aura. So that's what the pause is coming from. But we have 2 6/6s with first strike, so I am just going to attack. And knowing that they could have a Sheltered by Ghosts, I will. That's why I'm spreading it out and putting 1 on Spider as well. Because I could be attacking for 3 more damage, but I think it's better to have this as an option. At this point, what would be really nice is a flight. Oh, they're blocking. Do they realize I have first strike? Okay, that's fine. So they are still at 20. Now they can play a creature into a Sheltered by Ghosts and take out one of mine, which they could have. I don't think it's super likely, but we're about to find out here. And they do not have it. That works out nicely for me. I think a Sheltered by Ghosts here would be good. I think Feather of Flight. There we go. That was exactly what I was thinking of. So I do have to find a way to balance this. And what I really want is just to put everything. Let's have our flyer be 9 power. And they give up. See you, Rizos. That was very much a we were on the play, which helped us immensely and got us into rounds 2. What a ladder. Keep climbing. Okay. Back at it against Tessie. We are now outranking the bronze players, which is nice, and we have a pretty good start here. So they go first, so if they do play a meaningful 1-drop, I can just Seamer up. Otherwise, Optimistic Scavenger. I think next turn we're looking for the Spider, unless we have to plan. That does not change our plan. Although we can seam rip a seam rip. I just don't think that's super useful at this point. Okay, they are stocking up, looking at as some Azorius build. Hopefully, that's not our best matchup here, and I think a lot of the Azorius right now is focused on having Aang do some dirty work for people. So I am going to seam rip their seam rip now. Get my scavenger back. For next turn, we can play a Shelter by Ghost on one of the fighters, giving it flying, put a 1/1 counter on the other, giving it flying, and hold up the rescue, which is going to be a pretty exciting turn for us. And immediately punished. Okay. I did not see that coming. Day of Judgment. We pulled that in our collection yesterday, and now we're getting punished for it. This might just be our first loss here. I need something special. Feather of Flight is not going to do it. I think. Do I seam rip one of them? I think I do. Just to limit the damage. I don't really have other plays. It keeps an enchantment down for me, so I'm not too worried about that. Really would like a 1-dropped creature here to be able to play another Shelter by Ghosts, but that is, at this point, pretty hopeful thinking. Oh, lesson. Okay. Interesting. So, we need a creature this next turn, otherwise I think it's just going to be a loss. I'm already kind of in that loss. They're looking at 6, drawing 2. Seems like we just got a bad start, got unlucky a little bit, didn't play around what we needed to play around. Yeah, I don't think I can beat that, especially with I need to double Shelter by Ghost, which I guess could happen, but I'll just keep moving on. Okay, now we're coming off a loss for the first time in this video. Lost to some Azorius tokens. Seemed like we had kind of the right draw for them. Went a little all in a little too soon. Got punished for it, but now we have a similar hand, and let's see if we can do something different. Absur X and Wax and Waz. I don't know what that is supposed to mean, but we are playing blue, so I was fine with that getting countered, but it didn't, so that also is fine by me. They now have 2 blue up, which is prime time for a counter spell. Let's try to bait them a little bit here. Okay, didn't fall for it. Let's just swing in. If they do have a flash creature, we can Shard Mage's Rescue and just kind of blow them out there. And that's what I'm looking to do, is Shard Mage's Rescue for a blowout. Next turn will be our big Alpha Strike. Ooh, Donatello, the artifact one. Okay. So they are tapped out, which means I probably... Do I want to hold up the Shard Mage's Rescue? I don't think I do. I think I want to just maximize damage here. So I'm going to play it. Play Scavenger. And they gave up. Alright, nice and easy. Okay. There we go, coming off a win now. And we're playing Nugget. or Nougat, depending on how you want to pronounce it. This looks like a keepable hand. We have a good start with the mouse into either Shelter by Ghosts or the Spellbook Vendor. I'm happy with that. Let's start attacking. Okay, so with the double ethereal armor, I think it's just going to be a Spellbook Vendor this turn. Looks like they're playing black, so I do have to be somewhat careful, but they're tapped out for now. Next turn they're most likely going to play a creature or kill one of these. Then I can really start pumping up the pressure with... Oh, Doom Reign Supreme. Looks like a villains deck, which I have not seen in this before, so that will be interesting. I'm just going to try to maximize damage here, so let's swing in for 11. Yeah, I'll keep another ethereal armor. At this point, I should have this pretty well wrapped up, as long as they only can kill one. Okay, graveyard's gone, that's fine. I am going to start with Filtered by Ghosts. Now they can't touch it, and attach one more ethereal armor. I think I was good either way, but just to make sure. I get the kill. Bang. It's another. Prepare to be destroyed. So this hand, wow, this is an interesting one. I think it's most likely keepable. I wish I had a 1-drop instead of the extra land, but I think Skyward Spider into Shelter by Ghosts on the play is going to be good enough here most of the time. Unfortunately, this turn one, not as explosive as we are used to. And they're playing... Interesting. Okay. Here we go. Skyward Spider. This nesting bot, we are not going to block. There's no point in blocking, especially with the Shelter by Ghosts. Blocking here would just be a big mistake. However, I don't think I even need to attack here. Let's just hold everything up and wait for them to make a move. You can't play a 1-mana robot like that, and... Oh, okay, that's fine. So they did have a removal spell, just not, they're going to use it on our enchantment instead, which is fine. Let's see if they go for another removal spell. Okay, so they can't touch my Skyward Spider right now, so I'm just gonna give it flying here. And I think now we're in a very, very good position. I'm going to wait on the map tokens. I just don't think I really need it right now, so why rush? I'm in no rush. They are on about a 1.5 turn clock anyways, so it's fine. That's fine. Create a knight. Good news is they're playing a pretty creature-heavy strategy, so I doubt there would be a... What we were really trying to avoid was a sweeper, so a Day of Judgment. That would have been pretty terrible. Okay, and they are full committing. That's fine by me. The real question is, do I just Shard Mages now? And I think that answer is yes. Let's see, are they keeping? So let's do some math here. Shard Mage gives +2, 3. Deals 3. Sheltered by Ghost also does 3. So I am just gonna win here. So let's Shard Mages now. And just load up our Skyward Spider. And we can Sheltered by Ghosts. And that's the win. That is the game. We're up to bronze 1. Almost out of the bronze. Okay, back with Bane Seth. Really would like a 1-drop instead of Rescue and Seam Rip. I'm on the play. Yeah, let's see if we can find a creature here. I like that a lot better. Start off with our mouths and go. This is an interesting one. Not sure what Maria Hill does exactly. I haven't seen a deck like this. So I'm just gonna attack for now. Okay. They were willing to block, which leaves me just as confused as I was before, but Spellbook Bender. We have a Team Rep ready to go. And a Sheltered by Ghosts. It looks like they're just playing a bunch of Marvel cards and Sacred Foundry. Okay, let's do this. I'm seeing red-white, which once I throw this Sorcerer roll, I should be able to basically not. They can't kill this. They can't kill me this turn. With the ward 2 and 3 defense. Well, if ward 2 is good, ward 4 is better. Okay, and we're gonna win next turn, unless they can destroy my vendor. It's got enough toughness that I'm not too worried. Going to throw this down. Wow, 9. And flight, and good game. Good game, Bane. Bane Seth, no match for the Ladder.Climber. Okay, little Stevie doesn't know, but we're 2 wins away from moving on up into silver. So, no mercy here. I think this is just good enough to keep. 2 creatures, a pretty strong aura with Sheltered by Ghosts. I think that's gonna be my barometer for keeping. This is not one of our good matchups. I can tell you that right now. They have a lot of bounce in this deck, a lot of instant sorceries, which we do not play very well with. I wonder if I should have led a Spellbook Vendor. No, I think this is fine. Next turn, plan is to play a Spellbook Vendor and attack in for a bunch. No block. I'm not too worried about my life total. Now that does make it interesting, but I don't think doing anything different here is especially helpful. I'll pay 1. Throw it on the spider. I do not need another Feather of Flight, so that goes to the bottom. I think next turn is Feather of Flight, hope to draw land, sheltered by ghosts, swing in for 10, 11, or 10, 12. It would be 12. But don't love to see the is it stuff coming out here. I know they have bounce spells, so I'm a little weary. But I think, what is a 1 mana? I don't think there's a 1 mana. I'll just take out your Grand. That's fine by me, I guess. But then this does raise the question, does it make sense to go all in here? I honestly don't think it does. So let's instead play a spider. Autopay, throw this on the spider. Now I have a... Okay. So I wasn't drawing the land either way. So it would have just been the Feather of Flight plus that. I like having another creature out. I should be able to Feather of Flight whatever I want next turn, and that should get the job done. So I wasn't too worried. You always have to be somewhat careful, but let's see. It looks like they don't have anything. Okay. Good game, and I think that's gonna be it. Bam. Don't need a land anymore. Don't need another land, and that should just be game. There we go. 1 win away. So close. So close to that silver ranking. Okay. This hand, on the play, it's not terrible, but I think it's... You know what? We're going for it. I think this is probably a mulligan, but let's keep and see what happens. I do really like the spider. I think it's one of our better cards. That ward 2 just comes in handy so often against any removal. But I'm not worried about it. Plus evasion. We'll throw an ethereal armor on it. I think it should be alright. And we're playing some discard. That is less fun for me. But I think this actually lined up pretty nicely. We're going to get rid of the seam rip if they make us discard something again of our choice. Otherwise, they're probably getting rid of the ethereal armor, which is fine. Not great, but we will adapt and overcome, really. This is bluntly as I can put it. No! Oh, that was annoying. Do I play the armor now? Probably not. Although they could just take it away next turn. I feel like they run a lot of removal. So maybe that's... I'm gonna hold off on it for now. We're going to bump into full control just to bluff the shadow mages. Yeah, see, that's why we didn't do it. Okay, we are still in kind of a weird position here. I think... Oh, we can't get anything started. So now ward isn't even a real thing, but I think the best way around it is just to team rip this nowhere to run, and now we have protection again. So they need another one of their make me get rid of my only creature spells, which I assume they only run at most 4. So I think we're in pretty good shape here. That's less good shape, but it's alright. I think they're going to take the Ethereal Armor. I would take the Ethereal Armor. No. Origin of Spider-Man. Okay. That's fine by me. I don't think we're going to win this one. But it also doesn't matter a ton because it's just one game. We don't lose any of our pips. So I think I need to draw probably a Sheltered by Ghost here. Sheltered by Ghost and then Origin of Spider-Man. If they can deal with my Skyward Spider, I think I just lose. They had answers. I got to a slow start. Took a risky. Probably should have mulliganed. But live and learn. We're still getting used to the stack. We're still learning the ways of it and trying to get better each time we play. Okay. We got rid of that, which means our guy's safe unless they can force me to sack it. We are in good enough shape. Not good shape, just good enough. So that's, again, they could have cycled that and actually gotten value, but they knew we had a land in hand, so they tried to take that instead, which worked out pretty well for us. Okay, Unstoppable Slasher. That is... I think they're setting up for a combo kill. And I think I have to just hold back for now and try to block if they let me. Yep, there's the combo piece. So now, oh, why would you? That is not the time to attack. It does come back, but in a less meaningful fashion. Is this whenever if an opponent would lose life during your turn, they lose twice that much life. So I think I'm just gonna buff this up, play this, and then I would take 6 if they don't block it. And I really do need a Sheltered by Ghost now. That is the one draw. Or the Gift of Flight into Wings of Abandon. Gift of Flight into Sheltered by Ghost would be good. So they will gain 1. Oh, they will gain 0. Oh, this is frustrating. Good news is we have them down to 4. 5. But really 4. We have our... So they can't really attack here. If they do, we can just block with the spider, but it also just doesn't accomplish anything. They need to get rid of our spider, which only has ward 2, so maybe they can. It is just ward 2. Although it is a 5/5, so they need multiple. Okay. That is less good for us. Right now I'm in the position where it's pretty low chances that I end up winning this one. But still have chances here. And I don't think I get to attack, unfortunately, this turn. Since they're going to come in with the Unstoppable Slasher. Oh, it deals double damage. Does that mean that every time you attack now it's 8, or is it 6? I guess we are about to find out. Okay. So this has double strike and first strike. Maybe I should have attacked with the other one. Given that double strike? No, I don't think that makes any sense. So they are going to have to block here. And I think I can take one Bloodletter. If they so choose to attack with one, right? I really need to find a way to clear a path here. It's not looking great for that, but that is generally what I think I need here, is finding that way to clear the path. Okay, that is a decent draw, and it gives me some card selection here, which is very nice. So let's attack like this. Basically drew a card. I don't want to draw a Plains anyways. Alright, we got them down to 1. And we get them to 0. They need to get rid of 3 blockers here. I can take the Bloodletter. I have to block the Slasher. If they do get the Slasher unblocked, and they didn't. There we go. It looked hopeless. We kept going and found a way into silver. There we go. What a time to be alive. Once I get higher in the rankings, it gets a little tougher to really be grinding out coins and more so just fighting for our lives in the arena. Okay. This is a good enough keep. I think I want to start with Scavenger. Hopefully they don't have turn 1 removal. And they don't. So now we will play the Origin of Spider-Man. And green. So as long as my creatures are bigger than their creatures, I have nothing to worry about. Which is probably going to be for this turn only, but okay, so it looks like they're trying to do a let's play all our creatures strategy, which is fine. I think that is a strategy that I'm sure works enough of the time that they don't have too many issues with it. Nice. Thank you. I want to play one of the mites this turn, so I will pump up this guy, get everything to 4 toughness, attack for 9, And next turn we have a double striker, so I'd be shocked if they did block this turn. But they still can. Enduring Vitality. Okay, that is a fun card. Things don't have haste yet, so we are still okay from that standpoint. Altered by Ghosts here is very good. What is the best way to do this? Oh, yeah, okay. I have a win here. Here we go. So I will do that. Give double strike to my scavenger. Play a Sheltered by Ghosts on it, and then use the mouse to get through. The Enduring Vitality, because it can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater. It has power 3. And that is game. Game. That was a fun puzzle. Just how do I get to 9 here? And instead I found 14. But either way, easy win. No problems in the new silver tier. It's silver 4 for now. But it looks like we're going to keep moving up. So I'm going to see this in editing, but I think I'm at currently only 1 loss with this Auras deck from the Spark tier all the way up to now. So we're on a bit of a hot streak. I can't say I expect it to continue. I think we're going to lose some games here along the way, but happy to be where I'm at right now. You know, hard to complain. It's very hard to complain when you keep winning the games that even when they look lost, you still find a way to get through those last points of damage. So obviously right now, this is a keep. We have our 2 best creatures and our best aura. So I will not say no to that. We'll see where this goes. It might be a Spellbook Vendor on turn 2 into another Scavenger. Yeah, I think I'm going to play the Spellbook Vendor next turn, just to get that down. Especially now that I have 3 lands, I think that just makes the most sense. It's a little worse for damage if I expect to play the Shard Mage's Rescue pre-combat. Ooh, or do I hold that and wait for a removal spell? I think they do the removal spell right now, so I don't feel great either way. Oh, and they don't. So that Feather of Flight is going to be pretty important here to get past their Cecil, but their Cecil will also be doing some of our work for us, which is going to be very nice. I think I can trap them with the Hired Claw here. Or do I Spellbook Vendor? I think I Spellbook Vendor and just take the 4. So what I really have to watch out for here is I don't want them to be at 10. Once they are at 10, they get lifelink. So trying to avoid them being at 10 is going to be key here. Oh, the Wrecking Crew. That's fun. Oh, sack a creature of your choice. I think I want to keep this Spellbook Vendor, unfortunately. It just stops the attack from the Hired Claw. Now I don't care about them being at a lower life total. Oh, that's... You deal 1 and that just gets destroyed. Okay. I wasn't expecting that, but I will take it. And their Death Toucher's out of the way too. I think that ended up working out pretty well for us. And I get a bigger creature than them here. So yeah, I think all things considered, although Optimistic Scavenger is our best card, I think that was the appropriate time to sacrifice it. Okay, and we have, in case of, ooh, Ares God of War. Interesting choice. That makes combat a little more interesting, I would say. But not too bad. Do I have a win here? Let's see. If I flash this in... No, because I know I'm not drawing a land. So I think just the next turn is going to be a Sheltered by Ghosts. Probably on the Ares here. I think that's the better card. And I will decline. Attack with the Spellbook Vendor again. I am not in a rush right now. There's no point. I'm not close enough to get all the kills. So I'm in no rush. I'd rather protect my creatures and whittle them down from here. Because Hertz is pretty close. I mean, we're halfway through. What makes sense here? Yeah, I think we just play it. I'm going to buff up my Scavenger on that. Dark Deed does nothing. I did put myself in a little bit of a weird position. But I think I have lethal if they can attack. Yeah, I think I have lethal here. Assuming that they can't kill anything. So I'm going to Mouse plus Feather of Flight. And that should just be game. Worst case scenario at this point, I am going to gain 6 life. Ethereal Armor, doesn't matter. That's game. See you later, Hertz. Just another stepping stone. Okay. I am now 1 game away from Silver 3. Which means that I have 2 more daily wins. It's small rewards. I really care about the first 4 wins of the day, not the last 11 as much, but 2 more. This one's for coins, and it would push us over the edge for 6,000 coins, which means we can draft next time we're on. So I think this feels like a must-win. Get us up a tier, get us to our 6,000 coin number, and this hand just isn't going to get it done. This one is not much better, but it is better. Not much, but it still is. I think the best play is to get rid of our Seam Rip here. We haven't really been playing too many aggro decks, not too many really strong 2-drops that I'm seeing, and it looks like they went down to 6 as well. Since I'm on the play, Seam Rip just plays a lot worse. It's a lot better on the draw, where they play a 1-drop, you take out their 1-drop. Let's see what color they're playing. I think, as always, when I have Sheltered by Ghosts in hand, I was really hoping for mono red. Sheltered by Ghosts just means a lot of the times an auto win, especially if I can throw it on a Skyward Spider, hit you for flying and lifelink, and take your best creature. That usually will win me the game on the spot. So I'm in an alright position, but not quite the matchup I was hoping for. So it looks like Angels here. Let's read this one. Whenever another angel enters, put a 1/1 on this creature. That's fine. I don't need to take that out yet. I think it's more useful to just slap down our Spellbook Vendor. Get an aura on our spider and start swinging in. And scrying. There we go. Seam Rip is going to be good for us here, I think. I can take out this angel that probably is going to have a counter on it. So next turn, I think the play is going to be Seam Rip plus Spellbook Vendor and hold up Shard Mage's Rescue. Depending on what they play, if they play something really good, I will Sheltered by Ghosts. The good thing, and probably Seam Rip the Youthful Valkyrie. Okay, that I am not worried about. Draws them a card, replaces itself. Good card, but not something that I am all that worried running into, especially with the Spellbook Vendor, which is going to get pumped here. I think this puts me in a pretty good position. And I get to hold up my Shard Mage's Rescue and Sheltered by Ghosts. So, a lot of opportunities moving forward. I don't want another Spellbook Vendor. What I'm really looking for is an Ethereal Armor here. I think Origin of Spider-Man is just generally really good. Is it good enough to keep? Probably not. I think this is, in this case, going to be a win more card, which I don't really need. Obviously it changes. I might have to use my Shard Mage's Rescue right now, and that whole plan goes to nothing. But for now, I think shipping it to the bottom is probably the play that I like the most. They played a Momo. They're trying to get Lost My Thing, and we say, you may never do that. No thank you. Get that junk out of here. And they gave up. Thank you, Mara Glore. Mara Glore? Or Mara Glore? Either way. Mara Glore. Whoever you are. Thanks for playing. And I think with that is going to be the end. So we did great today. Lost one game in however many it was and moved all the way up to now we are sitting at Silver 3. 12 days left in the season, so plenty of time to keep moving up and climbing the ladder. And I will see you in the next one.